So I want to move forward and talk about how to actually read a Stonks Society alert if you do choose to follow up with our server. We'll typically say something like BTO or STC, that means buy to open and sell to close. We have an expiration date, as we've talked about. We have a strike price that we've talked about. So combining all those things, let's use an example. BTO MSFT 121.2022 220C at 23.00. Wow, that's crazy. What the heck does that mean? Well, let's try to break it down. BTO, we know means buy to open. Then we got MSFT, which is the short name for the ticker for Microsoft. So it means buy to open Microsoft. With an expiration date of January 21st, 2022, which is in a little over a year, for the 220 strike call option. C means call, P means put. At 23.00, that's the price of the contract, which you then multiply by 100 because remember each contract represents 100 shares. So 23 times 100, $2,300 per contract. I understand that seems pretty expensive per contract. Don't worry, typical alerts will cost anything from 50 to 500 per contract, which is a much lower and manageable amount. Okay, so let's do a bit of a closing and we'll go to our next section. Final remarks, number one, make sure to react to the disclaimer. Okay, first thing you should be doing when you join our server. Next thing is to read the FAQ. It's a lot of good information out there that I haven't covered in this presentation because I wanted to keep it on the shorter end. Also, talk with us in the trading floor. We would love to have more people talking, and we'd hate to just see you be a lurker in our server. So go ahead and send some messages on the trading floor. Just make sure it's relatively involved with the market. If it's just saying hi or how you're doing and stuff like that, or an introduction, go ahead and put it in the off-topic channel, and we'll be able to chat there. Keep up to date with server changes, which will be found in the announcements channel, and visit the membership channel or our website if you'd like to consider purchasing a membership plan. So again, this presentation provides a very high-level overview of options. And specifically, I want to target that in our closing, because if you're trading options, there's a lot to gain, but please exercise caution when doing so. So what did we cover today? We covered what Stonks Society is. We covered what steps you should take if you're brand new to trading or to the server. We talked about the differences between investing and trading. We went more into what stocks are. We then covered what options are and their Greeks and how to price options. We talked briefly about mental game and making sure that you were in a strong emotional state when trading. We talked about the charting basics, using trend lines, using volume, using candlesticks. And then we also used an example alert to try to understand what we would typically send out to our members as a suggestion. And we also had some closing remarks where I reminded you to visit certain channels in our server, such as, for example, to react to the disclaimer in the disclaimer channel. So let's go ahead and go to the quiz. If you can, go to Slido, enter code 77010, and click the polls tab at the top. This is a really nice way for us to kind of give back to you guys, because we do have a free event here, but we're going to give you a prize if you can be a winner on top of it. Or you can click the link and use the link we have here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and let's see here. I need to get out of this thing. Where is this thing? Here we are. Ethan, are we good? Any issues?
No, nothing, not that I see. I think
awesome. Okay. So yeah, you guys join this link that I'm sending to everyone in the Zoom chat. Or you can go on Slido and enter the code, again, 77010, and click the polls tab at the top. So I'm going to give you guys a second to do that. Once we get enough people, we're going to try to run a nice little quiz for everyone. It'll be kind of fun. So give me 1 second here. Now it's open. You guys can join using the link. or you can go to, again, 77010 to do so. Nice. Got a lot of people joining, almost 100. Let's keep it up. Remember, you guys get a prize if you're a winner. And at the worst case scenario, you can show how much you don't know about Stonks. By the way, yes, answering some questions. Yeah, we do have YouTube. Cam linked it, so feel free to check it out. We'll be posting more over time, but this is just we've got some teaser videos up so far. Pretty sure most of you guys are already in our server, but I have to assume some of you guys aren't because we did have a Facebook post. Thanks to everyone who's joining. I'm going to give you guys maybe another minute or two before we start our quiz. We got about 120 contestants so far, 115. Now let me think, because I've got 163 participants, but I've got 113 joined for the quiz. So some of you guys aren't making it. If you guys are getting technical issues, let us know. Maybe we can do something. Easiest way is just to click the link that I've sent in the Zoom chat. Or again, you can go to slido.com and enter the code 77010. We'll be starting shortly. All right, we got 100, just shy of 130. Still got just over 30 people who aren't doing it. Come on. You guys got about another 30 seconds. I'll give you about 30 seconds before we start this thing. Again, it's go to slido.com 77010 and the link I've posted in the Zoom chat, or you can copy it off of my slide right here. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to start the quiz, and let's do it. So you are timed. Does an out of the money option have intrinsic value at expiration? Yes, no, not enough information. The quicker you answer, the more points you get. But of course, it's better to get it right than to be quick and get it wrong, right? 5 seconds. What's the answer? Oh, 82% of you said no. Okay, that's good. That's good. The answer is no. So a lot of you guys got it right. That's really good. And looks like K was the fastest one. Actually, a lot of you guys, 4 of you guys got it in 5 seconds. So very nice job. All right, moving on to the next question. Gets your mouse ready. Does an in the money option have extrinsic value at expiration? Yes, no, not enough information. Five seconds. Okay, so a good amount of you said yes. 75% of you said yes, and only 20% said no. 5 said not enough information. The correct answer is actually no. An in the money option does not have extrinsic value because extrinsic value is made up of, as we said, time value and volatility, which don't matter. At expiration, what only matters is the intrinsic value, which an in the money option does have. Okay, so let's see. That was a tough one. Looks like a lot of you didn't get that right. Palantir to the moon got it right, and with a total time of only 11 seconds. Good job. You're in the lead. All right, here we go. Question 3. What is option premium? Is it the option's delta, the expected future option price in 1 year, the price of the option, or the expected future stock price in 1 year? You guys are quick to vote on this one. Wow. Five seconds. All right. Wow, 87% of you chose the price of the option for the option premium, and you got it. That's the one. Let's see who is in the lead. Still Palantir to the moon with 15 seconds total. Nice job. You're still in the lead. Let's go. What's the strike price? Is that the current stock price, the expected future stock price in 1 year, the predetermined price at which you can buy or sell an underlying stock, or the price of an option? Five seconds. Okay. What did you guys pick? 86% of you said the third option, and right you are. Okay. So after 4 questions, Palantir still in the lead by 2 seconds, holding on, but still definitely winnable from the others. Which of the following is not an option Greek we covered? Alpha, Delta, Theta, Vega. Not an option Greek we covered today. This is really mostly if you pay attention. You don't even have to know what they mean. 10 seconds. 5. Okay. 84% of you said alpha. Yes, we did not cover alpha. Alpha is a very important investment management Greek, and it's commonly used in investments, but I did not cover that today. So Palantir, nice job expanding the lead. Good stuff. Here we go. Competitive analysis is a feature of what type of analysis? Fundamental, technical, comparative, value investing. Competitive analysis. %48 of you got fundamental. That's, just shy of half. All right, not bad. So half of you getting this right and half of you getting this wrong. What's the answer? Fundamental. So I specifically mentioned competitive analysis under the fundamental category. And some people thought it was comparative. You could argue that, but I never mentioned comparative analysis. It's not an actual term that's typically used. Oh, Dat Boy is in the lead now. 46 seconds. Good job. Looks like maybe some people fell off there with some incorrect answers. No worries. Here we go. Which of the following does not describe IV? What the market forecasts future stock price movement will be, how quickly it's expected to move in any direction, the annualized expected 1 standard deviation range of the stock, and estimated of the current volatility of the underlying stock based on option prices. This is a long one. 5 seconds. Let's see, what do we get? Okay, so a lot of people, just over half, thought it was the third option. This one is difficult, I gotta admit. Actually, that one is not correct. The proper answer is the estimate of the current volatility of the underlying stock. The third one is not commonly used, but if you had read the FAQ in our stock server, that's exactly the definition that we listed down for IV. The reason why the fourth one is incorrect is because it says current volatility. Remember that IV is implied volatility, which forecasts future or expected volatility. Okay. So that one was definitely called some people off the top. I'm guessing Woosley, is that who that is up on the top with 6 seconds question time. All right, let's see. Moving into the 8th question. Which of the following is not an emotion we mentioned to avoid when trading? Fear, pride, hope, regret, greed. 5 seconds. %80 of you said pride. Okay, looks like most of you guys were paying attention. Yeah, I didn't mention pride. It's nice to be able to trade with pride, right? Being confident in yourself, that's a good thing. You don't want to be trading on fear or hope or regret or greed. Okay, so that didn't seem to shake too many people. Wow, we got Woosley and Datbui we're 100% correct so far with 3 questions remaining. You guys are vying for the top, but there's still some opportunities for the other guys. Here we go. How should you go short? Buy low, then sell high then buy low high, then sell low then buy high, or sell some but not all of your stock position. That's a tongue twister. Buy, sell, high, low, sell, buy, low, high. Ugh. All right. We've got 5 seconds. That's time. What do we get? 70% of you said the second option. And right you are. All right. What do we have? All right. Top dogs are still in there. Oh, Woosley's got a nice time advantage too. So all he has to do is focus on getting the last 2 right. Let's see. Number 10, which of the following is not allowed in the member plays channel? Opening a new position, closing an existing position, updating an existing position, questions regarding a position. Not allowed. Three, two, one. What do we get? We got 76% for questions. You're right. You guys are paying attention. We do encourage discourse, but we want to keep member plays clear so we can have everyone follow their own plays more easily. So for that reason, we do appreciate if questions could be sent directly to the person or in the trading floor or off topic or live chat room. All right, so with that, we have 1 question left and the 2 guys are still at the top. Oh my God. Alexa, stop. Don't worry about that. Okay, so we got 2 more people at the top. 1 question, what is the first thing you should do when joining Stonks Society? Read and react to the disclaimer, chat with us on the trading floor or off topic, check announcements for the latest server updates, or review server contents to see what we have to offer. And if you guys haven't done all of these, you should definitely do it, to be fair. But which of the ones is the one you should do first? Okay. 94% of you said disclaimer. That's a huge amount. You guys are right. You should react to the disclaimer. In fact, most of the other options you can't even do until you react to the disclaimer. So very good for doing so. So what do we get? Who's the winner after 11 questions? It's Woosley is my guess is his name there. Woosley with a perfect score and a minute 25 across 11 questions. Good job. We'll be reaching out to you for your prize in a little bit after the meeting. Good stuff, though. Good stuff. All right, so go ahead and scooch right over to the Q&A. I'm going to go check the Q&A now so we can see what kind of questions we got. Okay, we got a good amount of questions here. So I'll be going down this list to give me 1 sec here. Yeah, I'll be going down this list to start doing some Q&A section. All right, so starting off, what are the best indicators and trading strategies that you guys utilize for options trading? So I'll speak for myself because that's all I can do. Personally, I do prefer price action or the candle movements a lot. I like to use volume a lot. I'm a huge proponent of SMAs. I also do use some EMAs as well. And RSI and MACD I throw in there as well. But it really kind of depends on the type of trade I'm making and what I see, because on certain time frames, I'll use a different strategy than on other time frames. Maybe Senpai, you can drop in for what you think as well.
Wait, sorry, could you repeat that? I'm like not paying attention, sorry.
All right, no worries. The question was, what are the best indicators trading strategies that you use for you to for
Sure.
options trading?
Sure. So all of my plays that I post is all technical. So for me, I trade technical patterns, and I'm very directional. So I trade either all calls or all puts. So I kind of just trade over market sentiment. And obviously, since March, we've been like retardedly bullish on the larger time frame. So I am all calls right now. So that's like the first thing that you want to look at when kind of deciding what kind of play you want to take. And as for indicators, everyone's going to be different. Every single person I've talked to that are good traders, they never have the same stuff. So it kind of depends on what you like, and you need to try different indicators and test them out over a period of time to see what works for you. Personally, if you want to get started, good ones to use are EMAs, exponential moving averages, and I'll talk about them more in the future. But a lot of the members know about this already. But we use the 8, the 24, and the 8. What is it? 21 and 34.
34, yeah.
8, 21, 34. So if you want to try that out, it's a set of 3. So 8, 21, 34. Basically the 8 just shows momentum. The 21 can act as your support resistance, but in my case, since I play calls, it's always going to be my support. And then the 34 is your stop loss. So it's just a very quick way of reading that, and it works on all time frames. Whether you use it on like a day or like a daily chart on a longer time frame, it can set you up for some swing trades, like over a couple of weeks period of time, or if you look at it over a 5 or 15-minute chart, something like that, you can still day trade it or scalp. So yeah, those are some easy ones that pretty much anyone can use. It's very beginner friendly. They're very self-explanatory. But if you like even look on Google, or if you're in the Discord, you can chat about it in the trading floor, and I'm sure a lot of people like use it already in the group, so you can kind of get some more insight from there. But yeah.
Okay. Good stuff. All right. So next question: can you go over a stop loss on options, i.e., Robinhood, and how to set your target stop loss depending on stock price? So first thing is setting stop losses on options. As far as like technically how to do so, we actually have Daddy Elon posted a short video on that on the FAQ. So definitely go ahead and check that out. That'll give you the technical, like how do you physically actually set a stop loss. As far as setting where, it really sort of depends on the chart, the play you're using, as well as if there's any particular percentage amount that you're willing to lose before you're saying, hey, look, this is a losing trade and you want to bow out. Let's see. How does your target stop loss depending on stock price? Yeah, I mean, it's very open-ended. It depends on your personal risk tolerance. It depends on the play itself. It depends, especially for options, it depends on the expiration, right? If you're talking a 0 DTE or a 0 days to expiration option, it's very risky. So your stop loss might be shorter. If you're talking something that's a year out from now expiration, then your stop loss can be more generous. Okay. Senpai, do you have anything quick to add on, or we've basically covered it?
I think that's good. I'm like all of these are like the stop loss and targets. For stop loss, they're very situational. You can't really give like a clear answer about that. But like as for like stop loss, like super quick, like I just talked about with the 82134 EMA combo, that's like very easy. You use the 34 as your stop loss if you want to do that, and that moves with the stock, so it's always changing. Otherwise, you can use just a set stop loss percentage, whatever you're comfortable with, or like a support resistance level. That's usually what I would use. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So moving on, how do you screen for stocks to know which one to focus on? Senpai has a stock screener. I'll let him talk about it briefly, but it also depends because sometimes you don't have to screen stocks. For example, Daddy Elon, he focuses on like 15 tickers, and he pretty much just trades those tickers on almost all the time. And so there's a benefit to doing that because you get to know those quite intimately and you know how they move. And your options are a little more limited because you typically would only trade those 15 or 20, but it also avoids you having to use stock screeners because you know those stocks so well in and out. Senpai, I know you have a stock screener. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so stock screener, I personally don't use it that much. I just use it to screen for the group. But basically I can screen for bullish and bearish setups but just for reference, I'm using Thinkorswim. That's what I do all my charting on. It's a good software, and I can also screen there. But I scan for bearish or bullish setups. But since I'm only bullish, I scan for bullish setups that have a nice shift in momentum. But
Great.
it's a little too confusing to really go into right now. It's a whole custom script, but
Well,
yeah.
whoever's anonymous, if you want to reach out to Senpai on the Discord, maybe he can offer you a bit more specifics, but we'll keep it brief based on the general question you have there. Okay, so what's the best resource for learning TA? First thing is visit our FAQ, as I've said many times. We also have Stonks Society University, Stonks University, which gives you sort of the next step up to learn even more. If you have already learned the basics of TA and you want to expand to sort of intermediate advanced type of thing, the first answer I'll give you is it takes time because you can learn a lot of resources and it will not necessarily translate into success immediately because you need experience in it. But as far as resources, I would say one, you can use there's a couple websites. I gotta link them. There's a stockcharts.com is pretty good. I know that. And Investopedia is definitely good. I like to use a lot of YouTube videos. I personally enjoy watching YouTube videos about it, and there's always something to learn. It's there's so much out there. So spending an hour a week or something, or even more if you have it, to pick something up new is pretty advantageous. Okay. Do you have any other specific websites or things you want to add, or Senpai, or no?
I think that's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, when and why would you look at different time frames? Well, the first thing is, generally speaking, when you're charting a play, you want to start big to small. So if you are looking at Apple, for example, and trying to think of a potential position, you start on a larger time frame. Let's say the monthly time frame or the weekly time frame to get an idea of how it's been moving in the past 5 or 10 years. And then you can start going into smaller and smaller time frames where you start to see patterns forming and price action that suggests bullish or bearish movement. And you can start, diving a bit more into that. So my first general answer is you should be looking at most of the time frames. But also depends on how you like to trade. Because if you like to trade shorter term, you buy and sell on the same day, that's called a day trade, then you'll be using probably the 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 10, 15, 30 minute, 1 hour time frames. Whereas if you're swing trading, you'd be using larger time frames like the 4 hour, the daily, weekly, stuff like that. And so it kind of depends on how you like to trade as well. But in general, you should be looking at most of them for most trades. Do you want to add anything, Senpai?
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me, when I look at these, I'm mainly a swing trader for those that know in the group. So that just means I hold for at least one day, overnight into a few weeks to a month. That's usually the time frame. So when I scan, when I look at charts, I do still use different time frames. I'll look at a daily chart, 4-hour chart, weekly chart, and these time frames will kind of give you better pictures, and they'll tell you different things on each timeline, and you can kind of just zoom in. So I always start big. So you want to start on the biggest picture. That's appropriate for whatever, I guess, position you're looking into. And then you want to zoom in through there so you can get a better picture about that. So, but yeah, you want to use these different time frames with each other to work together.
Okay, nice. Next one, basics of credit spread. So we do want to keep this sort of this options 101 high level, because for those who are completely new to options, it's quite a lot to digest. But I'll give it a high level overview. Credit spreads is a type of options strategy where you're combining different calls and puts together to create an ability to be net short premium. So as we mentioned, option premium is the price. So typically when you buy premium, you are paying money up front to get the right to buy or sell shares in the future. So a credit spread is predicated on the basis that you can actually be an option seller, meaning that you can, instead of buying options up front, you actually sell them up front, meaning you get money or credit at the front of the trade, which then goes up and down in value over time. And if your credit spread is completely out of the money, then you collect the whole premium at expiration. And I may have used a couple types of terms or ideas that are a little bit more obscure for those who are completely new to options. But stepping outside of the basics of options and answering this person's question alone, credit spreads are actually in a way safer than regular speculative options, because typically you'd do out of the money credits. You can do for example, a call credit spread, which would be bearish because you're buying, you're selling a at the money spread or an at the money call option and buying an out of the money call option, resulting in a net credit. And so if both those call options expire OTM, then you collect the full premium. Alternatively, you can do a PCS or a put credit spread. That's actually bullish because you'd be doing the reverse. You'd be selling the put and buying the further out put. And so if both puts are OTM by expiration, they also allow you to collect full premium. In general, the amount that you collect is pretty low, but that's also because it's a lower risk in general. However, be aware that with credit spreads, if you are wrong and you aren't watchful of your stop losses and you're getting closer and closer to expiration, you actually can quite easily balloon a large loss. So there's a specific type of risk that's what's it called? There's a specific type of risk. The exact name I'd have to think about a bit more, but there's a specific type of risk that credit spread holders have when it comes to expiration. That is that the closer you become to expiration, the higher the risk you will have to having large swings in your premium, regardless of what the actual underlying stock price would be. So it's dangerous in that sense, because you could be up, you could have collected 50% on your premium, but the next day you could be down 20% on premium simply because you're 3 days out from expiration, for example. So typically a strategy for credit spreads is you buy a generally decently large width, but not so much that it balloons your max loss. You set a decent stop loss that's probably no more than your closer strike to the money, and you want to collect about, let's say, 33-40% credit for the width, and then you can close it out around 50-60% once premium has been collected. So that's obviously stuff that people who are completely new wouldn't understand, but if you're looking for basics of credit spreads, and that's what I typically like to look for. I know that was a longer answer, so I'm just going to say, Senpai, do you have any small stuff you want to add to it?
No, go ahead. Let's keep moving.
Yeah, I'll probably spend too long on that. But how do taxes work for options? This is a pretty big question. I want to mention that I'm not a CPA, so if you want tax questions, I do want to recommend that you go find a CPA or tax accountant. But in general, taxes for options work just like taxes for stocks. They're treated as securities. And so if you buy today, you sell tomorrow, then if it's a gain, it's a gain, just like you'd be taxed as a stock. And if it's a loss, it's a loss, just as you'd be taxed on a loss on a stock. Senpai, you have anything to add?
Keep going.
Okay. On Robinhood, what is that percentage number in options under the price? Is that the new amount of requests for those contracts or the return on investment? The percentage number in options under the price? I would have to open up Robinhood. I don't even know what you mean. Do you know what he means or no?
I think it's just the percent return, right?
The percentage. Oh, let me think. Number in option, but he says in options. The percentage number in options.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
just
look. Go ahead.
it's just I think it's just how much it's been down. Yeah, what James said. Yeah,
Okay.
just how much the options have changed in percentage gain or loss from the open or the previous price. Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know. All right.
No, nothing crazy. Like
Yeah.
it's not that important. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. Can you give a brief rundown on the qualifications of each analyst? All obviously have successful P&L based on alerts, but why learn from these three specifically? I mean, I think that the first thing is that a lot of what we are offering is it's sort of like a nurturing type of thing in the sense that like you see what we're doing and then you want to learn from it, and we're pretty open to doing so. If you DM or direct message us, we respond to those. We love just teaching people, and giving you the tools you need to kind of go out on your own. We don't want to handhold your entire journey, and we just kind of want to allow you to upstart it, give you the ability to, and then we want to nurture you to become a future analyst of your own. That's the idea of it. Okay. I don't know what happened to the question. There is. Okay. So what's Senpai's real name? Is it Ethan? LOL. I mean, I'll let Ethan answer this question.
You can kind of clearly see that. Come on.
Yeah, jig's up today, boys. Okay, moving on. Can you give a brief rundown? Wait, I did that one. What the heck? Okay, sorry. Moving on. Now the question about this past 20 minutes has been promo plus basic concepts. I prefer to understand more advanced concepts. This question was sent at 6:26, which was around the start of the presentation. That's what I'm guessing is what you're saying. So I'm going to take this constructive criticism as sort of a maybe he didn't get through the whole presentation yet before asking. But if they still feel that way, I would say that this is supposed to be a intro course to everyone on who we are and what stocks and options are. So if you're looking for something more advanced, I'd say you should probably stick out for the other monthly sessions I have, or even doing the trading charting analysis session that Senpai will be holding after this. And the one after this is free, so it's even better. All right, moving on. Should I max out my 401k before using a taxable brokerage? Well, technically the 401k is still taxable. It's still taxed, so it's not exactly non-taxable. But maxing out your 401k versus putting it into like a regular brokerage is what I'm guessing you mean, like a trading brokerage. That's sort of up to you. So I definitely would suggest that you put money into your 401k at the very least to match your company's percentage. So if they're matching 5%, then you put in at least 5%. This much is for sure, because it's free money. But your question is about maxing it out. I think that depends on your risk tolerance and what your goal is for the money you look to make. If you're trying to afford a house in the next 5 years or 3 years, maybe the 401k isn't as good because you won't be able to be able to tap into it until retirement. So that's something you have to sort of judge on your own. Senpai, you have anything to add?
No, I think that's good.
Okay. What makes this Discord different than others? This is actually a question that's we can give a general idea of, but you'd also want to take a look at a website to gain more information. The main thing is that we actually have these sorts of pillars of what we try to stand by on this Discord. The first one is that we, as we alluded to before, that we really want to give you the tools to improve on your own. We give you these sessions, free and premium. We give you feedback, and we really push to have you be included in the stock server, that you can be putting ideas down on your own, and the analysts would be taking it. I have a really good example from just a couple of weeks ago where a really I think this newer guy, I think he had been here maybe a couple months, and he sent a chart for Workday, the stock, and I liked it. And I actually mentioned to everyone that I bought Workday based on this guy's idea. And I give him credit, and I said, hey, this is a really good position. I'm buying in with him, following him, and we both ended up profiting. I think that's a really good example to show how far we come. It's not just simply an analyst comes on, text you a alert to buy and sell, and then you're done. What our goal is not to really just make money, but provide a low cost opportunity for us to learn together, to have discourse together, have differing opinions, and share our ideas in order to attain even better plays. And this is essentially something that I had come up with as an idea separately from Stonks Society. That back in like 2017, I was working. 2016 and 17, I was working at an investment management firm, and I noticed the difference between this firm and the others. It was quite apparent. It's that everyone was willing to say, hey, look, this is a bad idea. Like, this has problems and risks. And they would say, hey, look, this is a really good idea. And they would compare each other, their ideas, and try to say, hey, look, there's some holes in this potential opportunity. And here's why I think your opportunity will work. And they would talk about it in such lengths that it kind of showed that regardless of where you came from or what your experience, you always have something to offer, because let's face it, no single person will have all the answers. So that's one of the biggest things about us that that we like to offer, and we're cheap. You're paying equivalently about a lunch a month. You're giving up a lunch a month to pay for premium if you would like. Although we do have a free level as well. Premium is not expensive. It's about a lunch a month or a dinner a month, and you'll make your money back with the alerts that analysts make. Senpai, I know I spent longer, but do you have anything to add?
Yeah, not really that much. Like, it speaks for itself. Like, I'm still in college, so like I totally get fees and everything. Like, I only monetize this because you're basically paying for my time, essentially, like straight up. But like basically, like, it's still super cheap. Prices are not going to be raised like ever again, probably. And it's like you said, it's literally like probably like a 1 or 2 meals worth. And like most of these plays, like since I started the group in March, I'm 85% win rate. Like, as long as you're managing your risk properly, like we try to tell you guys to, and not just going all in into every single call, like, you're going to make money and you're going to be successful, and you're going to learn how to trade independently, because like some of these people in here really like have been in here for months, like since the beginning, and like they have seen, like, I've seen so much growth with them, and they're actually like putting out like their own charts, their own plays now in the group, and they're like taking their steps into our direction, and that's kind of the goal with us. So I guess for that, like with the whole trial thing, I see another question about trials. Like, where I guess I could say, like, I'm very confident with the group where I know what we put out is worth it. So it's really up to you guys if you want to make that initial investment in yourself. And like, if you don't want to, like, your trial can essentially be the free alert section. Like, I put out free alerts once in a while. Like, I did one Friday. It was like a Disney call. Like, people in here that saw it, was Disney calls. And it basically went up like what, $150, $200 a contract, like in a day. So like that just tells you right that, like, right off the bat, like, these calls, they really can make you money. It's really up to you to manage your own risk at that point. We can only do so much for you guys. So I guess that's what I have to say to that.
Yeah, we're again here not to handhold. We're here to provide the tools for you to succeed. And as I said, this is a different Discord because we're a low cost, discourse focused environment that never says that you're bad. It says that we want to provide opportunities for you to maybe poke holes and say why this potential opportunity could be risky. but we never shoot people down. We want to bring them up. And we have great alerts, great analysts, low cost, and you'll make your money back with even just the free alerts. Okay, so let me move on. Do you use spreadsheets to keep track of your investments and plays? If so, how would you recommend it? What if you're not spreadsheet literate? No problem. So this is actually a great opportunity for Senpai to plug his spreadsheet. It's got a template. Want to talk about it?
Yeah, I have a template that I use. Like, so if you're trading already, and you're not journaling, so journaling meaning basically like putting into a spreadsheet all of your trades, whether they're winning or losing, just keeping track of all of that. Not only will that help you with taxes in the future, just to kind of keep track of everything, but you can kind of track your progress over time. Um, so I actually have a spreadsheet that's provided. It's in the Discord, so if you're interested in it, just hop in the Discord, and whoever this is on anonymous, just like ask in the trading floor just to remind me. But it's also posted. Like, I made a post on SAI on Facebook like a long time ago, and it's on there too. It's for free. Like, it's everywhere. So if you look around there, you should be able to find it. But if not, just ask in our server and I'll get it to you.
Awesome. Okay, so what are some recommended resources for beginners to learn and improve websites, books, YouTube channels, etc.? A book I would recommend is Trading in the Zone. I think you can get it for free now actually, but I bought it. It's a nice little thing to address your mental game, and I'm pretty sure it's highly recommended among the training group. So you can go check that out. As far as websites, I would say, first of all, I mean, it doesn't really properly count as a website, but use us as a resource because we have over 3,000 people. Sure, not everyone actually constantly talks. A lot of them lurk, but we have a lot of people who actually, um, um, we have a lot of people who actually contribute the ideas for updated news, potential plays that you wouldn't see in other areas of other websites or internet area websites. For news, I suggest you can use CNBC, or many brokerages actually have a built-in news network that you can tap into. For example, I use Thinkorswim, and that actually has a news network that's automatically put in directly into the software. So it's really nice and easy. YouTube channels, I would have to take a look. Project Option, Project Alpha. If you're a day trader, I would even say you could use Humble Trader. I've been following her for like better part of a year, which is pretty good for day traders. So those are some things for you right there. One thing for CNBC, don't spend too much time trying to get caught up in their news articles because a lot of it's fluff, and you don't want to be the sort of person who makes trades all based off of CNBC. That's what it's a retail trade trap. Let's just put it that way. Senpai, you have anything quick to add?
No, I think it's pretty good. Let's wrap it up here for questions, and let's get moving with my TA part.
Yeah. Wait. Okay. Let me see real quick. See if I can jump through some ones really quickly. Do you mind giving me like 5 minutes? Is that okay?
Yeah, you can go for it.
Okay. What makes an option premium cheaper or more expensive? How can you tell when an option has cheaper premium? Well, you can tell what option is cheaper premium if it literally has a lower price to it. An option is more expensive if it has high IV, if it's got more time value on it, for example. Yeah, that's like some common ways. Recommended website program app for charting. Most of us use Thinkorswim by TD Ameritrade. Also, TradingView is not bad as well. You can take a look at that. TradingView is free. What are naked calls and puts? Naked calls and puts, typically when you say that, it means that you're selling to open a call or a put, which means you're receiving the premium at the beginning. This is different from a credit spread, however, because naked call and put is actually even more dangerous because it has potentially infinite losses, especially if it's, say, opening a naked call, for example. I generally try to avoid it. If anything, if I'm trying to sell premium, it'd be credit spreads. Okay, tips for crafting and entering exiting strategy. This is pretty big question, pretty loaded. reach out to the trading floor and type it in, and we'll get back to you on this one. Okay, would you recommend utilizing stop loss to ensure profits to a share in a portfolio? Profits on shares, excuse me. If it's an extremely high amount, you should probably be trimming some. Like, it's never a bad idea to trim some at 100% gain for shares, and a little more, 200%. And it's if you're buying and holding, you believe in the 10-year horizon, then you don't look at it. But in general, you probably should still be selling some when you're at a massive, massive gain. How much time should you be dedicating to options trading, analyzing stocks, due diligence, etc.? This is all up to you. Some people can spend an hour a week and get some ideas going, and that's all they need. Some people are pretty, laid back. Some people spend 5-10 hours preparing. Typically, what you might do is you might do your preparation on Sunday when the pre-market opens. So that's an example, and you can kind of just work through the night for a few hours, and once you get into the hang of things, it gets easier. Option flow, where can you see this live? Option flow, well, a really easy way to see this live is Thinkorswim actually provides option flow for you. As far as like, it's not as nice as like the black box and stuff, but it's there and it's free. Keep in mind as well that if you are in an elite program, we offer option flow for you, like the what do you call it? I can't remember the name, but you go ahead. What was it?
It's quant data.
Okay, yeah, quant, yeah, that one. So if you want option flow, you can sign up for elite on that one. Some things to keep in mind to make the most out of TDA, since there was highly recommended over Robinhood. This is a huge question as well. It just takes time to get used to TDA. There's a lot. It basically is very customizable, and it goes really in depth into options, valuation, stuff like that you can use to use it to your advantage. Also, one of the things on demand, you can pretend to make trades that you aren't actually making, and you can see how they change over time. Okay. Yeah, Woosley, you're right. They teach you how to fish. This is from a member who kind of explains it in a short phrase. What is Stonks Society? We're teaching you how to fish. We're not giving you the fish. We're teaching how to fish. Why do you recommend some brokerages versus others? It's just because we use them, and we've been using them for a while, and we like them, and we're comfortable with them. And as well, if you pick the ones that we do, it's easier for us to help you if you have questions. Keep in mind, however, you can definitely choose whichever ones you want. Instead, in fact, some international folks might have trouble picking TDA, for example. So do your research. Some of them have better options for you than others. What do you do if your OTM option becomes in the money, you don't want to exercise it? You can sell it back to the market. In fact, that's what I always suggest. It's very few scenarios where you should be exercising your option at all. If my call put is in the money and have time till it expired, when do you sell it? It depends. I mean, just because it's in the money doesn't mean you sell it. It just it depends on how far in the money you expect it to be before it becomes a little bit too risky to hold or too large of a position to hold. But just sort of take profit when you're not sure. Just take profit. Are you the only one? Are you only allowed to sell your call option at expiration, or can you sell anytime from purchase to expiration? That's correct. You can sell it any time prior to expiration. This is the main reason why buying and selling contracts the way we do is okay, because you can buy and sell before expiration. Okay. Thoughts on SMA versus EMA? This is a loaded question. I use a little bit of both. I like SMAs, but EMAs are just more. It captures more of the momentum. Send in the trading floor, and we'll talk more about it. PSA: follow one Senpai free alert, and your membership will be paid 85% success rate so far. Thanks, Palantir to the moon. Why don't you pay up for the premium then, Mr. and Mrs. Anonymous? What? Do you know what this means? Why don't you pay up for the premium then?
Just move on.
Okay. Joined about a day or two ago. Have you guys considered doing trials? So I think Senpai already answered this question. If you want more follow-up, feel free to send him a DM. Okay. Remember, this market is special right now, though there's not much room for retail, like how Airbnb and DoorDash only benefited VCs. That's good info for those who are new, I guess. And do stocks only go up? Yes, but on the safe side, I'll say no. On the record, I'll technically say no, but they've been going up a lot. Thanks for the session. Of course, no problem. Stick around if you'd like, for sure. We're going to be going over another free session. I'll pass it over to Senpai for the charting section of it.